the key to success is to be ahead. You
Mhm.
got to read ahead. That always my kind of pet peeve throughout my life. And even during medical school, you cannot be on time. You got to be ahead of time.
Yeah. On today's episode of A True Goddess, you will be inspired up to heaven by Dr. Paveena Posang's life story. She is here today to share with us her published book, Whispering of the Light. The story is jam packed with the adventure of a little girl who was heartbroken from her parents' divorce. She lost the will to live, but was saved by her great uncle, who was a healer. She bounced back and reclaimed her throne as a true goddess, became a cross country nurse, a medical doctor, and a lieutenant colonel of the U.S. Air Force who led a humanitarian mission to Peru in 2012. She shares her keys to success, her joyful childhood memories, and the many struggles she went through to give the wisdom that we are blessed with in Whispering of the Light. Welcome to a True Goddess podcast where we inspire you to embrace your authentic self, be healed, supported, accepted, and empowered to live the life you desired. Now, Dr. Posang is sharing her amazing life story and adventures as an author through this wonderful, wonderful book, Whispering of the Light. Amazing. I read it through and I couldn't put it down. Welcome, welcome, Dr. Posang. It's an honor to speak with you today. It's an honor to interview you today. I for our listener out there, if you don't know me as well, Dr. Posang is also my older sister. We
Yeah.
we we know each other our life, and she is an amazing, amazing sister, amazing human being, amazing physician, just amazing light for the world. And I'm just so honored to be able to have her presence in my life. And welcome, Dr. Posang.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
And
Thank you so much, sis, for your kind words. And I am very excited and happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
you're
I am looking
welcome.
forward to talk about our past adventures growing up. We had a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, yeah. Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about how little Pavina grew up to be such an amazing light of the world. You just I know for sure, growing up with you, whenever you walk into the room, everything just brighten up. You're like
Oh,
the
that's so
light.
sweet.
The energy, it just just amazing. You have this amazing light around you. And tell us a little bit about the adventure that you have that you
Yes.
wrote about in this book. I have the privilege to be part of some of this adventure.
Uh-huh.
So
Of course, we grew up, even though, we had little stuff. Remember, little stuff, but we had the whole world around us. We enjoy being in nature. We remember we went to the rice field. We enjoy catching fish and climbing trees, looking for tropical fruits. And life was, even though we didn't have much, but we were so happy.
yeah,
And we were creative. I think when you had little, your mind became very creative. And
yeah.
when you made your own toy, it's nothing like somebody giving to you. When you
Tell
make your
tell
own toy,
tell
it's like amazing.
tell the listeners some of the
uh,
toys that you and
uh,
your sibling creatively
oh my goodness,
made.
some of them were dangerous. Oh my goodness. Okay, some, of course, the dangerous one were, I think we made gun from a piece of wood. We used like berries, like hot berries at our ammunition, and we could hurt people with that.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah,
we made our own kites, and we made our own paper dolls, and we made our like a what is it uh we created our own kitchen and cook
Yeah,
the
the
food.
kitchen was created from like a
Uh-huh.
candle and like
Yeah.
a lid from the
Mm,
cans, right? We put
yeah.
some vegetable oil in there and just cutting up leaves and just cooking it under
Right.
the candle. We like
Right.
dug a hole in the ground and put the candle
Uh-huh.
in there, lit up the candle, and it's amazing, like you said,
Yeah.
how creative people can
Mhm.
be when you have really little, and that
Mhm.
is a
Yep.
blessing in disguise. And when you were growing up, when we were growing up as kids, we didn't have much, right? But do you remember lacking anything?
No, no, never. I guess when you didn't have much, is what is that? You really everything is a lot. Everything around you, was a lot,
Mm,
and we focus more on the love around us. We enjoy visiting our families and friends. Of course, our grandma, she had 8 siblings, and the houses were around us, so we really enjoyed, like one day we would go visit, this person, another day we would go visit another aunt and uncle, and they always welcome us, and they made us, food, and we really had a lot of support growing up. And of course, that happened after our parents, went through a divorce. Of course, the time I was 3 years old, and you were just a little baby, and
yeah.
we had to move up north, of course, back to this home that was so peaceful and joyful, surrounded by so many loving family members, and many of us didn't have much, but like
Hmm.
we were saying, we just had so much love and support. And also our great uncle, I think when we first moved, I think we had some sadness because of, that time we kind of lost our dad, especially me. I was very close to him, and when he was gone, I think my world fell apart.
Hmm.
And it was certain several months. I think I went into kind of dark night of my soul journey, that I totally kind of shut down and stopped eating. I think I lost a lot of weight, and people was people would call me chopsticks,
Yeah, you
and
were
not
very skinny.
until
Yeah.
yeah, not until our great uncle that God gave us, his healing the light, that that because he was a healer for the our family. He learned how to heal people with his energy. So with his healing and his love and his guidance, and our spiritual journey started very early. We were uh, taught how to do meditation at the age of 3. Of course, we could not really focus. Our minds were just everywhere, which is normal for us as a young child. So he was really creative himself. He brought like a salon chair that able to rotate, and of course, he put my little body on the chair, and he kind of gently rotate the salon chair, and then kind of gently speaking with his voice, and to calm us down and kind of calm our spirit down. And I think after a while, with his love and his attention and his guidance, we able to kind of what is it? We kind of woke up to the joyful life, joyful world. And
Mhm.
after that, it was like nonstop. We were nonstop in life. We became so creative, and we seen everything as, as blessing.
Climbing the trees, jumping off the
Right.
second story of the
Yes.
house and running away from mad dogs and
Yes. We made
yeah,
it.
a lot of that story is in
Ah,
this book. Even how our great uncle become enlightened and become the healer. It was like a magical story, and you've told it in a very great way. um you kind of condense the story in a very powerful like nutshell where people can actually get mm, a lot of wisdom
thank
from this
you.
book. You have live an amazing life, and with that your our great uncle pretty much help heal your little soul from the sadness, right? When we talk about depression and sadness
Mhm.
and humanity, being a human itself is tough, and every human being get put through this test, right? And you were tested with such a young age, and you got through that, which was an amazing ordeal that you
Thank
conquer.
you.
People, you guys got to check out this Whispering of the Light to see how this little girl just fought through life, and you would walk because you love to read. At a young age, you would walk like for
Mhm.
miles and miles to the library. It took you like half a day to walk there or something like
The
that.
whole day back and forth.
The whole day back and forth. and
Ah,
and and people who doesn't know any better, Thailand back then, even till now, is still a developing country. And most people don't have books. Most people don't have running water, and the toilet is just a hole in the ground, right? And for people in this country to have even just books to read, it was just a gift. And you fought very hard to to get to those books. How old were you? You were
oh
just
my
like
goodness, I think I was very young, probably
like
8,
six.
9, 10 years
Yeah,
old, and
yeah.
lucky nobody kidnapped me.
I know,
And of
right?
course, I went all day without eating. Lucky, then those houses, they were so kind. They left. You remember those water in clay pots that were
Mhm,
out there, and I kind of stopped and I drank the water
mhm,
throughout the trip there to the
mhm.
library, and of course on the way back, and that kind of kept me hydrated,
Yeah,
and I
wow.
didn't I guess the love of reading it, I wasn't I don't remember being hungry.
Yeah,
I just lost myself in the book.
for a young kid to walk half a day to a library just to read a book and starve herself, don't eat, and don't even think about where she gonna drink water and all the stuff. That's what we call determination. And
Mhm. Yeah.
you have a great determination, and you have shown that all your life, and it is written in this book. And this book is like a very quick read, and you pack so much story in there. And I want you to touch a little bit on when you first came to America, and when you went to high school. How was that like, not knowing the language? And I know it must have been tough. I experienced the same thing, so I know how tough it was.
we
But
we
for,
did we
I mean,
did
for you, it was even tougher because you're at
uh,
that age where the
around
language
14.
development is like is solid already, and then you have to learn the new language. It must be very hard.
We did not think about how hard it was.
Mhm,
Every challenges, we always try to find solution, you
mhm.
know. So the solution is to study hard,
Yeah.
spend time study. So I remember, I don't know, you remember that too. I kind of at the end of the day, because I have to do a lot of house chores since I was the oldest, oldest
Mhm,
sister in the house. So I had to cook and clean and doing everything. So after I finished, when in the evening, I kind of locked myself in the closet, and I had like a glass of cold water to kind of keep myself awake. So I translate every words in my books. I mean a book from school. The night before I go to school, so at least I will understand. When the teacher was teaching, so that the preparation kind of help me. Um, but it was just one of those things. You just do it, and you just don't think about it, just do it. And when you grow up with the spirit, we just uh, what is it? It's just everything is a win. When you go
mhm.
up with did not have much, everything is a win. If you're able to success in something, is a real, true success of life. So you just keep on going, and you just
Yeah,
that's how I just go day by day and do the best I can, or did the best I could at that time. And
yeah,
I just never give up.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
we cannot give up on ourselves.
That's right. That's right. I also was there with you along the journey, and you speak about translating the textbook so lightly, and I did this too, and people would be like, how can you do that? I mean, literally the whole book
Every
was
words.
covered with every single word was covered with translation. You write it in pencil, right? And then there's this thick Thai English dictionary that
Mhm.
you have to open every time, and that's how we learn English, and that's how we get through school. And it wasn't easy, but you did it, just because there's no other way, because you want to learn and because you want to accomplish something, and without even thinking, you did that.
Mhm.
That's
And of course,
amazing.
the what is the key for success is not to be on time when you go to school. The key to success is to be ahead. You
Mhm.
got to read ahead. That always my kind of pet peeve throughout my life. And even during medical school, you cannot be on time. You got to be ahead of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and we were in the military, right? Dr. Posang and me included, and you need to be on time, but to be on time in the military, you must be early.
You
if
have to
you
be
if you're
ahead,
on time,
right?
you're late. I always tell my kids that, but they growing up in America, it's giving you a lot of freedom, and sometimes kids nowadays um, don't know how to appreciate little things in life. And you said, Dr. Posang, you practice gratitude every day without not even knowing what that means. Even before now, gratitude is like, oh, it's the in thing. People's like, yeah, have gratitude, and then they have this gratitude journaling and gratitude exercise and wake up with gratitude. There's all kinds of gratitude stuff out there, and now it's the in thing. But you've done this all your life. You just wake up and
Automatic.
automatic. Can you if you can explain that a little bit? How, when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thought in your head?
Throughout my life, it just happened since I was little. When I wake up, the first vision I see the sunlight, or my breath that I feel in my lungs. I just kind of have that happiness that I'm alive. And I
Mhm.
look around, especially in US, since we came from Thailand. When I look around, say, wow, I have a home that's so comfortable and cozy, and I walk to the bathroom, I turn on the faucet. Oh, I said, thank God I got water, running water, because, growing up in Thailand, if you remember, we would wake up early in the morning and we hand pump water
Mhm.
from the ground, and then
Yep.
we hand, what is that, build fire to warm it up because our house was close to the mountain.
Mhm.
And when it was, the winter time, it was kind of cold in Thailand. And then, we had to kind of warm up the water before we take a shower. And then before we, walk to school, it took a long time to get ready in the morning. So,
Yeah.
being in US, oh wow, we really got everything running water. You
Mhm.
just turn on the faucet and the water was running. And if nobody else happy, I was happy. And thank
Mm.
God, man. I
Yeah,
guess I
and
just
that
learned to appreciate
little
every little things in life.
right, right. That little things that people forget to have gratitude for it's just, I think that's what drive a lot of unsatisfactory in many people's life because they've forgotten how much they have. And that's why, waking up in the morning and just
Mhm.
be grateful for that and feel the emotion, right? You just feel happy, you just feel like, oh wow, running water. I, I remember those cold mornings. It was rough. It was rough. And to have running water, it's just amazing. And you've been in this country since 1981. It's been like a good 40 some years. You still remember to have gratitude about running water. And that's just amazing. This is the wisdom, y'all. This is the wisdom that Dr. Posang has, that um, we can take with us. The little things in life that we take for granted. Our family, our our books, the lights, the water, the home, big or small, is still much more comfortable than
Mhm.
in the third world country, you know. And
Definitely.
yeah, thank you for that. And can you tell us a little bit about your you had this kind of experience in college when when you were going through nursing school. They told you you cannot do it. They told you to go home. They told you to give up, but you had a promise with your aunt that you will be a nurse, and you remember that. Can you tell us a little bit about that story, how you overcame that situation in your life?
Sometimes things happen for a reason. When I look back at that time, because I was in my 20s and second year of college,
Mm-hmm.
not sure what really happened at that time. I woke up, of course, in the book, we very sensitive with energy, and we have vision of things. And the night before, I know this sounds kind of crazy. The night before, I was engulfed with black smoke. I woke up seeing this black smoke in my bedroom, and I could not breathe as well. And then I woke up with this sudden illness that all my joints were swollen, painful, and I could not walk. And I think I also didn't realize I started to have like a butterfly rash on my face. And of course, it took a couple of days for me to be able to kind of get to student health, to get studies and tests and all that done. And I was diagnosed with lupus, with really high elevated inflammatory level. in my blood system, and I was diagnosed with lupus. And of course, at that time, I really didn't know much about medical stuff. I said, no way I'm going to get sick.
Mhm.
So the primary care doctor made me an appointment to go and see the specialist, rheumatologist. And he told me, at that time I was very active in sports, running and tennis. And of course, also studying, and he thought it was a stress from life and from school and being in college, and also learning English at the same time. So he said, you got to stop all of this, physical, all the sports, and also stop college too, and go home and start the treatment, and gonna be like IV kind of medicines. I could not even remember what they were. So he scheduled me at least to come back to see him to start the first treatment, and I just did not show up. I did not show up, and in my mind I said, no way I'm gonna have any kind of illness to stop me from,
Uh-huh.
I dreamed that I'm gonna, be in school and finish nursing school at that time. And of course, the doctor called my our mom and our aunt, who was who was a family physician at that time. And even my mom called, dad in Thailand, and everybody tried to get me to go back home. I said, no way, let me die in college. I'm not gonna stop, and just that's just how I was growing up. I mean, I'm not recommending people to not returning to get help with their physical illnesses, but it just kind of happened. And I at that time, fortunately, that my body recovered and healed. And and through that time, I also continue my self healing with meditation, and try to eat healthy. I did slow down on sports, and gradually, my physical body just by itself got better. And luckily, the inflammatory levels, when I went back probably another year or so to repeat the blood test, and all my blood tests show no more inflammation. So lucky. I think that setback happened for a reason. I really feel that every setbacks I had in my life were not bad lucks. I think they were meant to be there for me to gain soul strength, to understand, people who have illnesses, and maybe even to gain soul experience.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes it's good to have compassion, but the true compassion actually comes with you experiencing it, and your life experience was preparing you to be a good nurse, to be a good doctor. I remember one story that you told me when you become a nurse, and you were taking care of this one gentleman in the ICU, and he was just literally out of it, totally out of it. He had no idea what's going on. He was just in comatose, and you would come in cheerful like you always be, say hello and how you doing, and then you talk to him every day. and this story almost made me cry, and it made me cry the first time I heard it. And when he woke up, he remembered your voice. He said, that's the voice, that's the voice that I heard, that's the voice that keep me alive. And it's just amazing how you touch so many lives, as a nurse, and now as a physician, and now as a energy healer, quantum touch, and Reiki. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that story, Dr. Posang. And
Thank you.
you, so you went on and became the cross country nurse, and you were sent to Sumter, South Carolina,
Right.
right? And during the hurricane,
Hugo, Hurricane Hugo.
Hugo, and you had no idea what a hurricane is, and you didn't listen to the news, and you didn't know what's going on, and you were like kind of locked up in your apartment, and thought you pretty much thought you're gonna die. And can you like touch on that story a little bit and how that led you to the medical school?
You know, when you're in the medical field, when something happens, you're not gonna leave the area. You have patients that you got to
Mhm.
take care of. So I don't care, hurricane coming, I'm not going anywhere. Of course, the eye of the hurricane passed through Sumter, South Carolina at that time, and the hospital, they lost their power, and because also many people could not come to the hospital because the trees and the power line were everywhere. And here, I just had no sense of anything. I just I just drove my car, and around all those trees and power line. Of course, after I took a shower in the rain first in the storm, and I got to the hospital, and the hospital had no light, and of course not too many people, staff were there. So I was taking care of two units, from the north and the the north and the south. Could not remember. Now was two units that were nearby each other, and I was running in the dark, and then I had another nursing assistant that able to come in, and I was trying to get a hold of the doctors because some of the patients were sick and require some acute intervention, and I could not get a hold of the doctors. And so I guess I kind of made up my mind, okay, from now on I'm gonna go back to medical school. I'm gonna learn how to take care of these patients myself. So kind
Yeah.
of another dream kind of started, at that time, from
Yeah,
the
that
hurricane
just
Hugo.
yeah, you can literally write a whole book about that one event. I mean, you risk your life driving through the street with all this power line, everywhere, and then people just flee. People left. Even physician, doctors, you can't find them, and you said you as a medical profession, you gave the oath, right, to always be there to protect the sick, to help heal the sick, and you pretty much gave your life for that. And when the doctor's not around, guess what? It's time for
We
the next
improvise.
journey. But that didn't come with a lot of struggle. You were told. Tell me, when you went to the interview for your medical school, what did
Oh
they
my
told you?
goodness. Of course, at that time, my English was horrible. And I went for an interview. Of course, the older physician, he asked me nicely. He said, "Oh my goodness, your English is horrible. How you think you're gonna finish medical school?" So, I guess I was honest. I said, that's why I study so hard, and I spend a lot of time. I tape a lot of lectures, and I listen to them so many times, and all I need from him was just one chance, one
Mhm.
chance for me to try. And he did give me that one chance. So that
Yeah.
story I told a lot of people, you never, you don't give one chance away. When somebody give you that one chance, you don't walk with it. You grab and you hold on to it, and you run with it, and do the
Mm.
best you can, with your one chance.
Yeah, and you did. You become an amazing, amazing physician. And I remember because I was there how hard you work. You would I mean, there's like no sleep, no sleep, and there's just so much material to study as a physician, and to have English as a second language on top of that it just like difficult. You would wake up and with the alarm clock, and the whole the whole apartment can hear, because you were so sleep deprived that it need to be loud, and you just take a few hours of sleep and then keep going listening to your lecture. And it just, I know how hard you work to get through medical school. And there are, you take care of your patient with just such deep compassion and with such deep care, that they would come and tell you, like Dr. Posang, nobody, no doctor, no physician, no human on this earth ever take care of me like you do. And I you would move from location to different location, from job to job, to the opportunity takes you, right? And your patient would drive 4 or 5 hours to come see you in another state. that that just go to tell how good of a physician you are, and that one chance that professor gave you, he helped save so many lives by giving you that one chance. And that's just amazing. And it didn't happen by accident. I'm sure everything was miraculously. Your life is just like a miracle. And then you didn't stop there. You at the age of, how old were you when you joined the Air Force?
44.
44.
44.
44. You joined the military when you are 44, and then you had to pass the physical
Physical exam.
exam. And
Oh my
tell that
goodness.
story about how your husband helped you train to do push-ups.
Tommy, my husband
Tommy.
Tommy. Oh, sweet Tommy. Anyway, when Saz and I, we talk about joining the military way when we were even younger, because, we said if we did not come to US, we would not have this opportunity to be who we are today. So one day we're gonna join the military. And of course, it took me longer to join because of several things. And of course, when I initially want to join, mom was crying. So, oh no, I cannot see mom sad like that, during the desert storm. So I kind of back out until 44 years old. I decided, okay, it's time now before I get too old. So I
Yeah.
called, and then of course, they asked me. At that time, I spoke to a recruiter from for Air Force. So he asked, okay, can you do at least, running? I said, yeah, I can run. Can you do sit up? Yeah, I can do sit ups. What about push ups? I said, yeah, sure, I can. And even though I was active, I guess I have never done push up before in my entire life. Maybe before I start at that time. So I told my husband, okay, get your timer out. I want to do push up and see if I can at least get to 40 or 50s push up in a minute. So Tommy said, uh, when are you gonna come up? I said, oh my goodness, I could not even do one push up. So I
Yeah.
made a decision at that time between, seeing patients. I said, I'm gonna start doing at least 10 push up on my, my work table. And I kept doing that. And of course, after a few months, I was able to do enough push-ups, 40 to 50s per minute.
Wow, wow.
You can
There you
train your
go.
body.
Yeah, you cannot like make any excuses, right? You're a busy
Mhm.
physician. You, like, have no time to train, and you train in between
To be
patience.
patient.
Yeah, doing push-up on your work desk. Yeah, unheard of. But you have this sheer determination that you want to serve, that you want to give back. This little girl did not walk to the library for nothing. She did not fly from Thailand and and went through medical school for nothing. She did not join decided to join the Air Force for nothing, right? She must succeed, and sheer determination, Dr. Posang, sheer
Thank you,
determination
sis.
from zero sit up to 50 sit ups per minute. If that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. You know, at 44 years old, zero sit up to lieutenant colonel of the U.S. Air Force, and you become the chosen one for all this high ranking officer in the Air Force, and actually the triad, right? They all want to come see you, and you become like
Such an
their
honor.
person.
Such an
Yeah,
honor.
yeah. I know it's honor. I because I heard the story, and you're very humble, a very humble person, very humble physician, very humble human being, and you
Thank you,
have
sis.
so much greatness in you. What is it like for you being an officer? I know you were in Peru, and that's a story to tell. That is like, an action movie by itself. It's a lot that you went through to you led a team of military personnel, medical personnel, on that mission. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That mission was life changing, and you know me, I always wanted to do a humanitarian mission all my life, and able to go with a team of physicians, all military physician, nurses, and dentists, and also all the personnel that can help the local people of the town called Horn, which is like almost 1,300, 13,000 feet above sea level. So at that time, it was challenging because being up there in a high altitude, some of our personnel did get some altitude sickness. So I was monitoring my team members as well, then look for signs and symptoms of altitude sickness. And unfortunately, sometimes, we have to, I remember taking one sergeant down, another 3,000 feet for him to reacclimate. And because he was having, started to have neurological symptoms from being at the high altitude. And then of course and with a couple more days reacclimation, and then kind of brought him back to Horn again, and then meeting the local people there, which is amazing. And some
Mhm.
of people who volunteer to be there. So, and then we also work with the military personnel from Peru as well. So it was such a joyful and friendly mission, which is something that I would love. Me, I do not like any type of conflict. So I think it meant to be for me to be involved in such a mission like that instead of going
Yeah.
to other places.
It's more of a friendly mission, and
Right.
you're there to help, and people welcome the help. And that's just a great story. And you wrote about that adventure in here, and everybody need to get this book.
Thank
It's
you.
inspiring. It's just like, adventure after adventure after adventure, and then you're like, what, this is only one person, and you have more adventures coming up. You became
Uh,
the energy healer, quantum touch, and Reiki healer. Um, and can people get treatments from you? Can they find you?
Yes, they can. All of us connect together by energy. All of us we connect. We actually always are one light. We stay connected. So certainly, we can feel the energy in the distance. So I'm doing like distance energy
It's in
healing,
healing. Mm.
and they can look up on the website posangenergymedicine.com and kind of reach out to that website if they would like to try like distant energy healing and resetting the body energy.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I've done a few energy healing myself, and those of you who haven't tried it, it just transcendental. It's like it's an outside body experience, and if you have an open mind and if you willing to receive, it just an amazing experience, and people actually get um, peace and healing from this modality, this type of modality. So I encourage you to try if you have not. And our time is coming to an end, Dr. Posang. I wish I can talk to you more. And I know that you're gonna come back and we gonna have many more journey, many more adventure, life adventure and life wisdom to share with the audience. And I appreciate your time today. What kind of message do you want to give to women, Dr. Posang, to help them own their power? What is that one little golden nugget you want to give to women?
Stay in your power, and all of us, we in life, we learn to understand the deep meaning of ourself, our soul purpose. We, as we go through life, we learn about self-love, self-worth, which is so important. We got to understand that we are one light that is a complete light. We need we need not to seek love and joy anywhere else except ourselves. So love and joy and happiness start within us, and then once we learn that we are the body of love and joy and happiness, and we started to feel that our the magnificent light is within ourselves, understand that we are the part of the magnificent light of our creator. We have no limitation. Just keep on going and live your beautiful light on this earth. Our physical body is here in this lifetime, but your soul have been with you for forever, for eternal. And if you will slow down sometime and listen to your soul speak, this is not the first time that you are here. You have been here before. Many things that many solutions, many answers, you already have them within you. You just have to listen to that deep intuition within yourself. And I know a lot of time, with life taking us through, so many stress, and sometimes we forget that we got to slow down and listen to our soul speak, and we were created with a magnificent body of love, and we got to continue to to be lovable, to feel love, and to give love out there. Because when we live other people, we also live ourselves and live our own light. And all of us, like I said, connect to each other. So everyone's success is your success.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you
Thank
so much for
you.
that wisdom, Dr. Posang.
Thank
And
you
I,
so
I,
much for
I, I
having
couldn't
me
agree
here,
more. I
sis.
couldn't agree more. You are magnificent.
Thank you.
And everyone, you live your magnificent light. Just like Dr. Posang said, you have been here many times and listened to your soul speak. Like Dr. Posang said, go inward, listen. You are the body of love. Thank you, Dr. Posang.
Thank
And
you so much for having me here, and thank you everyone, and best wishes to you all.
I have one last question,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just out of curiosity. Actually, I asked this to all of my
Mm-hmm.
guests, and just to see what they said. If
Uh-huh.
Dr. Posang, if you have a genie in a bottle, what are the three wishes you would wish for? And those wishes would make all the difference in the world in your life.
The three things.
Yes, the
You
three
know,
wishes for the genie in a bottle.
the three wishes. Number one, of course, good health. So if I have good health, I able
Mhm,
to in this physical body, I able to be here and make a difference to the world
mhm,
longer. Number two, I want to do something that can change the world, make a difference, even one life at a time. Number three, I love the adventure of this earth. So I want to continue traveling and, continue to have joyful spirit when I travel and visiting all the people that I love, all my friends and my family. And then, all the new people that I will be meeting throughout the world. Those are
mm.
mostly my three joy.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. And it's interesting that you put health first, because without your health, and most people put themselves last, right? They take care of everybody else, and they forgot that self-love, they forgot that self-care. And like you said, without your health, then you cannot make any change in this world. That is amazing. And guess what? Bing! May
Yes.
all your wishes come true.
Thank you. Thank you, sis. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Dr. Posang. It's been an honor, and it's been fun talking to you. And I can talk to you all day.
I
And,
know, me too. Thank you. And the best
thank
wishes.
you.
And
Thank you for
thank you for
listening.
being a beautiful light too.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye
You're
bye.
welcome. Bye bye.